Hi, welcome to the first episode of Folked It. We are a collective on all things two wheels, and we are currently in day infinity of the new normal lockdown era, or lockdown age, or whatever you want to call it. And we have two motorcycles lying idle in the garage, and it's not the best of conditions to keep these bikes idle because it's going to create a lot of trouble when you want to start hitting the road again. So today we're going to look at how to keep these motorcycles ready to run. So stay tuned. I'll show you a lot of common ways to keep the bike up and running. And do subscribe and follow us for more awesome content as well. So hey, we are at the garage right now. As you see, it's closed. It's just two bikes here, and so for the method to keep the bikes up and running, it's pretty simple. So the first method is you switch on the bike, leave it running for at least 10 minutes or so. This applies for any motorcycle, be it liquid cooled or air cooled. So this particular motorcycle is a liquid cooled motorcycle. So what I want to do is I want to switch on the engine, leave it in idle, and let it run for 10 minutes or so. So you switch on the bike for three major things. The first one is the battery, the second one is the engine oil, and the third one is the coolant. So what happens when you switch on, when you crank the bike with the electric starter or your kickstarter is your battery generates a spark, which basically ignites the fuel in the engine. But since the bikes have been sitting idle for some time, the battery will not have optimal charge as such. There will be a lot of discharge going on because it's a closed system. It will have enough juice to crank up the bike. Sometimes it may take a couple of starts, but the moment it does, and this bike idles at around 1500 to 1700 rpm. So there's also something called the stator coil in this bike, which basically is kind of like a dynamo. So the stator coil produces around 35 to 40 volts at 1500 rpm. So the moment the battery's 12 volt system is surpassed, it just drops into charging mode. So it's not operational throughout the time. You just need enough juice to crank the bike. Number two, engine oil. So the bike has been idle for some time. It hasn't been switched on either. So all the engine oil is going to be right at the bottom of the engine in the oil sump. So which means you don't have any lubrication between the moving parts of the engine. So what you're going to do is you just switch on the bike. Don't throttle it out. Don't rev it. Let it just idle for some time so the oil goes into all the internals and lubricates it evenly. So what this is going to solve is, first, all of your internals will be well lubricated. You don't want internals without lubrication because it might create some issues or damages within the engine, which is going to be a costly affair to repair it again. And the second part is, so when engine oil, so these bikes use synthetic oil. So synthetic oil typically breaks down over a long time, but when it's idle, it breaks down faster. So it's going to create something called turpentines and thinners, which basically settle on all the internals of the engine if it's left idle. So you don't want that happening. You want to keep it churned or so. So that it's going to solve that issue as well. Number three is the coolant. So on this bike, we have a reservoir tank. This is where the extra coolant is stored, and we have a radiator where the operational coolant is stored. So what happens is both these tanks have been sitting more or less idle over time, and so basically coolant is made of ethylene glycol and distilled water. You either get it as a premix where you just dump the entire bottle into the radiator, or you get it as a concentrate. So the concentrate, you'd have to mix it with distilled water as per the ratio mentioned on the bottle. So what happens is the ethylene glycol and distilled water separate over time if it's just left idle. You don't want that happening. So you just switching on the engine solves that as well. When you switch on the engine, your water cooling system is activated, and the pump is going to start churning the coolant through the system. So in essence, you have everything churned. You don't have any residual sticking to one part of the cooling system. And you also want to let it run until the radiator switches on and switches off, which is basically called a heat cycle. And that will also ensure that the coolant is still in operational fashion. And so that should more or less sort out the cooling system. The thing you want to ensure you maintain during this lockdown is your tires. So as you see, the bike is only standing on a certain contact patch these to the ground. So it's only this small area of the tire that is handling the entire weight of the bike on the ground. So what happens is, since it's been sitting idle for some time, there might be flat spots that are created at those contact patches. So you just want to take the bike, move a little bit front or backwards, ensure that it's not just one contact patch that's on the ground continuously, and you're sorted. Number 5 is forks, and similar to the engine oil, the fork has a little bit of oil as well, which basically helps in damping and lubricating the parts inside. So it's going to be remaining stagnant, so all we want to do is ensure that it's not stagnant and it's lubricating the internal parts. So the method is very simple. Just put your bike straight, take out the stand if required, hold the front brake and just pump the forks for a bit until probably a couple of times or dozen times even. You can go crazy on this, that's okay. So yeah, that should more or less sort out the stagnant oil in the forks. Number 6 is the brakes. So this bike uses a hydraulic braking system which basically uses oil to actuate the brakes. So brake oil is hydrophilic in nature, which means it attracts water and it becomes bogged down over time. So we have to replace it once a year. But what happens is, when it's left idle, there might be air bubbles forming in the system. So what you can do is, you can just pump the brakes, keep pumping it for about 30 seconds or so. So you fill the lines with pressure, and all the air bubbles are going to move up to the master cylinder here. So just keep pumping it for some time until your fingers are sore, or maybe compensate for that missed workout in your gym. So yeah, that should about do it. And the rear brake again, same method, keep pumping it. And this is the master cylinder for the rear brakes. So all the bubbles are going to move up back to the cylinder. Just keep pumping it for some time. Yeah, I think that should about do it. The 7th circle of motorcycle hell is pests. So the bike is sitting idle. Pests can get into the bike, make their homes in it, and the obvious place is going to be the exhaust. And especially, you've got to be aware of rats. These buggers can chew through anything except tin and steel wool. Lucky for us, we have this dishwash scrubber, which is made out of steel wool. So all you have to do is just take apart a little bit of it and just plug it into the silencer. And don't plug the entire thing inside, just plug it so that a little bit of it goes and this part stays outside, so you can pull it out when you have to start the motorcycle. Yeah? So we're going to just plug this in right now. So just plug it in a little bit. So you don't want to flood the exhaust with steel wool. So just leave that out there so you can just pull the damn thing out when you start riding again, or the next time you start your bike to let it idle. So that's about it for maintaining your motorcycles. Again, we have a private garage. I haven't been through any lifts or any corridors to come here and do this. I'm not wearing a mask because I don't need to. It's just me and my wife who's behind the camera. But if you do have to go through corridors and go through lifts, please don't. This can be resurrected very easily. Our bodies cannot. So stay home, stay productive, stay safe, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Forked It.